Now, during this same war that the stripling warriors fought in, and during these war chapters, there's a curious comment about poison. So at one point, um, it addresses the fact that some of the Lamanite prisoners tried various times to slip poison into the Nephites' drinks, into their liquor. And it says that the Nephites were thus cautious that no poison should be administered among them. For if their wine would poison a Lamanite, it would also poison a Nephite. I remember reading this for the first time as a kid and wondering, duh, why is this in here? This kind of goes without saying, seems pretty obvious. This was written for our day. We think that with a little dose of religion in the morning and a little bit on Sunday, that we somehow immunize ourselves from the poison of the world. It won't poison us. This says very clearly that if it will poison other people's children, it will poison yours too. I saw a news article about the leader of a snake handling faith who was bitten by a rattlesnake and died. And as I learned a little bit more about this faith, I kind of came to admire their faith and their courage, that they believed so strongly the passages from the Bible that talked about Paul being protected and being promised protection against poisonous snake bites and against ingesting poison, that they were willing to show their faith by purposefully handling these poisonous snakes and allowing themselves to be bitten by them in some cases, or intentionally ingesting poison with trust that God would preserve them. I mean, that kind of courage is admirable, but it feels off at the same time. And the reason is God can perform miracles and save us, but not if we're actively throwing ourselves in harm's way. You can't intentionally drink poison and expect God to save you. He wants you to avoid the poison altogether. Stand in holy places. But then if you accidentally do ingest some, or someone forces it down your throat, or you stumble across it, He can step in and work His miracles. Daniel was protected from the lions because he was not in there by choice. He didn't choose to jump down into that lion's den. If he had walked around putting his head in lions' mouths to prove his faith, I highly doubt he would have had the same miraculous outcome.